Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. So, today's class is going to be essentially working on the components to Sanbon Kumite. So we'll be looking at those different blocks and punches and stances and then putting it all together. But as always, we're just going to start with a nice quick warm-up. So let's just start by loosening up. I'm just going to do some torso twists back and forth. And some side bends. And some calf raises. So I'm going to go up on my toes and back onto my heels, just going back and forth a few times. And now just a few hip openers to loosen things out. And other way, go out to in. Okay, so hopefully you're a little bit loose. We're just going to do a couple of quick exercises just to get the blood flowing a bit more. I'm going to start with 10 push-ups. Not sure how well you can see me from here, but I'm down here doing them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Alright, great work. I'm going to go over onto my back, and instead of normal leg raises, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do circles. So my legs are going to go in a circle one way. The next count, they're going to do a nice big circle the other way. You can do normal leg raises if you prefer. Try and just make sure you're keeping your legs straight. If we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good work. So now let's just do some lunges. I'm going to throw in some front kicks just because I like to do that because it's fun, but obviously there's no need to do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, try to make sure you're keeping good posture. 5, hopefully my posture is all right. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 more, 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alright, good work. Now just to finish things off, we're going to do 1 minute of plank. Bent arm or straight arm. Whenever you're ready, go ahead. I'm not sure how much of me is in frame right now, but I am doing it. Hopefully with okay form. That's 30 seconds. You're halfway there. Good work. This feels weird. It's probably like, the singular most interesting minute of video you have ever seen. It's part of me doing plank. Or possibly just completely on the screen. 10 more seconds. You're almost done. Good work. Just keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and nicely done. Alright, if you'd like, you can grab a drink. I'm gonna just quickly stretch off first. So I'm just going to start by reaching up. And forward fold, reach for your toes. If you'd like, you can bend your knees a little bit to get to the ground. If you can already touch your toes, good work. If you would just prefer to hang there and stretch out your hamstrings, that works too. Completely your choice. Plant your hands on the ground, walk your feet out to about 70%. Reach over to one side. I might be out of frame again, I apologize. Reach over to the other side. And back to the middle. I'm going down into frog stretch. Keep your knees far apart, push your butt back, and just sink into it. Try and make sure you're looking ahead of you to keep your back straight. Alright, now sit up. We're going to do what I consider to be the pretzel stretch almost, where you have one leg tucked in, bring the other one over top and hug it in. I don't think you can see that, I apologize. I'm just stretching out my glute. Feel like you can keep your lower leg straight in front of you. Hopefully you know which stretch I'm describing. If not, just try and do something that's going to give you a good stretch. And switch sides. And relax. I'm gonna come up for quad stretch since I do learn, however slowly, and now you can see me. Of course, if you prefer, you can stay on the ground for this. And switch sides. If you're having trouble balancing, feel free to grab onto a wall or a chair or a bed or anything around you that can help stabilize you. And relax. Take one arm, stretch in front. Switch sides. Now take one arm, put it behind you. Switch sides. And now, just to quickly stretch the back, I'm going to go on all fours. I'm going to take one arm, bring it up. I'm going to thread it beneath my other arm and bring my shoulder to the ground. And then kind of put my shoulder on the ground as soon as I've gone as far as I can to get a good stretch. And switch sides. And relax. Alright, good work. I'm gonna grab a drink. So as I said, the focus of this video is going to be on Sanbon Kumite, so we're going to quickly go through all of the techniques and then kind of bring it all together. So first, we're going to just look at the stance. So the two stances that you see in Sanbon Kumite are your sanchin dachi, which is our hourglass stance, and your shiko dachi, which is our square stance, or colloquially our sumo stance. So I want to make sure that my heel of my front foot is in line with the toes of my other foot, and when you're doing it, you want to try and make sure you're gripping the ground with your toes. It's said that you want your heels just slightly above the ground so you can fit a single piece of paper in there. Now when you're moving, you need to make sure that you relax everything before you go forward. So from a tense position, you relax, do your nice C-step, and then tense again, and again grip with the floor. And yeah, you want to make sure that your feet are parallel, the outsides of your feet are parallel, which means that sometimes your feet are pointing a little bit in towards each other. And then just about shoulder width apart. Now for shiko dachi, I'm going to do this at about a 45-degree angle. I'm not sure how well you can see my feet, hopefully you can see it well enough. So I'm going to have if I'm doing it at a 45-degree angle, my torso should be facing 45 degrees. One foot should be pointed towards the wall, the other foot should be pointed towards you. And then the most important thing, as much as you want to kind of sink low with your feet about 2 shoulder widths apart, you don't want to sacrifice your posture, because if I'm doing this isn't a very good stance, I can't get really any power. So you want to make sure that you're really pulling your butt in, keeping your hips forward, keep your back nice and straight. And if that means you have to come up a little bit and you're not going as deep, that's totally fine, because you want this stance to be solid before you want it to be deep. Try and grip the floor, make sure that you're in a good sanchin, your hips are square. And then we're just going to walk forward a few steps. Remember, loosen up, and then grip. Loosen up, and then grip. And then once you're kind of at the constraint for how far you can go one way, just take a few steps back. Going back is harder because sanchin, you should be having your weight a little bit forwards, but just do your best to keep your weight forwards and bring enough weight off of the foot that's moving that you can do so. When you're going forwards, you're almost falling into it. So just take a little bit of time, practice that. It might be a little bit weird doing it without being on a mat, but it's still practice. So I'm going to stop that there. If you'd like to keep practicing, you're welcome to do so. Now I'm going to practice moving in shiko. This is harder to do because shiko is a much bigger stance. So I'm just going to essentially go back and forth with one side and then back and forth with the other. So if you know sanchin, you can do this without the C-step, but for Sanbon Kumite, you normally have more of a C-step in it. I'm going to shift a bit. So similarly, I'm just going to C-step. I'm doing it from a 45 to another 45, because in Sanbon Kumite, it's a 45-degree angle. Just practice going back and forth a few times. Trying to land in that angle. And now practice the other side. Shift again. If you don't hit it every time, it's totally fine. Just reset and try again. Again, you need to make sure that you're getting your weight onto the balls of your feet a little bit so that you can shift. And then you just almost fall forwards. Just going to start from chamber, and you punch out. This happens at 3 levels within the sequence, so we're going to practice at all 3. So you have high, which is about shin height, middle, which is more chest height, and then low, which is kind of more like the belly button area. So we're going to do our 3 level punches. So 1, 2, 3, all to 1 count. But before I start that, when you're generating power, you want to make sure you're staying essentially as loose as you can. Because if you're all tensed up, that's not going to get anywhere fast and is not going to get anywhere hard. So I want to be loose until the second of impact, and that's when you're going to tense. And then make sure that you're getting your hips into it as well to get more power. So just starting one arm out, have the other arm in a nice chamber. Try and keep both your wrists straight. Aim with these knuckles. 3 punches to 1 count. Each. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rook. Seach. Hatch. Q. Ju. Hi. And then when you're doing each technique, make sure that you're breathing out. In addition to making sure that you're getting, oxygen, which is very important, it also helps you to kind of tense your abs at the moment of impact, get a little bit more power. So we're just going to do 10 more sets. Again, 3 strikes to each count. Each. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Make sure you're chambering back each time, not shortcutting. Rook. Seach. Hatch. Q. Ju. Hi. Then the other thing that we have in Sanbon Kumite is our blocks. So again, we have all 3 levels. We have our high block, our middle block, and our lower block. That's our Jodan Uke for high block, Chudan Uke for middle block, and Geiden Brai Uke for our low block. So whenever we're doing our high block or a jodanuke from chamber, you make almost an X with your hands, and then you have that one arm is going to punch straight up, and then at the last second it's going to set above your head. You want it to be about a fist away. Don't want your fist right in front of your forehead, because if something hits and it comes back, then, I mean, you didn't get punched by someone else, but now you're essentially punching yourself instead, which is still not ideal. You want it a little bit higher so that it's your forearm, which is a little bit softer. You also want to make sure that you're at about a 45-degree angle, almost like, you know, a rooftop. If you're up here and something's coming in, you're not going to really be able to block. But if you're here, that's not very high, so something might still be able to hit you over top anyways. So you want that nice optimal 45-degree, something that hits, you can kind of slide off. So we're just going to do a few of these nice and slow, our jodanukes. So again, try and stay loose up until the last second when you tense. Each, ni, sun, shi, go, roke, siege, hatch, kyu, ju. 10 more. Each, ni, sun, shi, go, roke, siege, hatch, kyu, ju. Good work. So now we're going to do our Chuden-uke, which is our mid-level blocks. So there's kind of two parts to the Chuden-uke. You have the Uchi-uke and then the Soto-uke. Uchi is the inner block, and then Soto is the outer block. So in Uchi, just picture there's something there, someone's punching, and you just knock it aside with that arm. It's quite possibly the easiest block that we have, because you're just taking your arm and pushing it to the side. And from after that, you're going to take your other arm, clear over top, and then pull it across. What you want to remember for this block, you want your elbow to be about, again, a fist away from your body. You want that angle to be about 90 degrees. Try and keep your wrist straight, not bent or pushed out, nice and straight. Other arm in chamber. And then whenever you're doing it, this hand should clear over top, making an arc that should pretty much go over your face and then to the side. You want to get lots of coverage, because if you misjudge where the hand is, but you have a nice big arc, you can still try and block it out of the way. So again, we're just going to do some of these. Each, ni, sun, shi, go, roke, siege, hatch, kyu, ju, juichi, juni, jusan, jushi, jugo, juroke, jusichi, juhatch, jukyu, niju. Good work. Before we put it all together is our Geiden-Burai-uke, or a low sweeping block. So this has the sweep added in because it's a really big motion. It is sweeping across your entire body. For this arm is going to set here. Think of it as similar to your middle block. It's almost pushing something out of the way, and then you're going to set, and then I'm just going to keep clearing it to the side. Again, stay nice and loose, really whip it down, and you're covering pretty much your entire, like, everything from your torso to your head with this block. Each, ni, sun, shi, go, roke, siege, hatch, kyu, ju, juichi, juni, jusan, jushi, jugo, juroke, jusichi, juhatch, jugo, niju. Sorry, I think I screwed that up. Oh well. Alright, good work. I'm just going to grab a quick drink and then I'll put it all together. So, in Sanbon Kumite, which is our 3-point sparring, should have mentioned that earlier, sorry, you have one partner who is essentially attacking and the other is defending. I'm going to start with attacking. So, starting with my left, it's been a long time. I think it starts with the right side. So I'm going to start with the right side. I could be wrong, I apologize. So starting one way, I'm going to go for a high punch, going to step forwards, middle punch, step again, low punch. Normally I would keep going with the other way, so then step forwards with the left side and keep going. but I don't have the space for that. So I'm just going to start going the other way. So I'm going to step back, high block, this is in sanchin, step back again, also in sanchin, middle block, I'm going to step back, shiko 45-degree angle, low block, and then for the sake of this drill, I'm just going to keep doing that back and forth a couple of times. So I'm just going to count out each move. Each, ni, san, shi, go, ro. So this is a good time to really focus on each technique. Take it slow if you need to. Just try and get the form down, practice moving a little bit in your stances, and then hopefully once we're back in the dojo, it'll be a little bit easier to put all together. So again, same side, each, ni, san, shi, go, ro. So hopefully that pattern kind of makes sense. Now, this time when you do it, try and take a look at your stance each time. Each. So check your sanchin. Are your feet, is your heel in line with your toes? Are your feet shoulder width apart, facing forwards? Ni. Take another look at your sanchin. Is it still a good stance? San. Now take a look at your shiko. Are you at a 45-degree angle? Are you keeping your butt in? Are your feet facing the right direction? We're going to go back. So again, into that sanchin. Try and make sure that you're now facing straight, that you're still maintaining that good posture, gripping with your toes. Also, sanchin dachi, those same points as earlier. And back again into our shiko dachi. So now again, really focusing on those stances. Each, ni, san, shi, go, ro. Alright, and just one last time, really thinking about the techniques that your arms are doing. So each, ni, are you keeping your elbows in with your punches? San, shi, go, ro. Good work. Now we're going to switch sides because, we have to keep it even. So this time we're going to be starting with our left foot forward when we step forward with our punch, and then just doing the opposite sides for everything. Each, ni, san, shi, go, ro. So again, thinking about all of those same points that we were thinking about earlier. Start by thinking about your stance, checking it after every time. Each, check your sanchin. Sorry, this is a high block. This is supposed to be a high punch. My apologies. Ni. I guess I was thinking about my stance. San. Check your stance again. And back. 2. And 3. Alright. And again, really focusing on that stance. The stance is essentially the root. You will not get a good technique with a good power if you don't have a solid base. Each, ni, san, shi, go, ro. We're just going to go 2 more times through, really thinking about what our arms are doing this time, but still trying to maintain a solid base. Each, ni, san, shi, go, ro. Each, ni, san, shi, go, ro. Nicely done. So just one last comment I want to make before we stretch off. You might have noticed when I was doing my low block the gate ember uke, when I was just standing in a parallel stance, the arm didn't go very far from the body. But when I was in my shiko, the arm was much further out. That's mostly just, you want to make sure that you're covering anything that needs to be covered. So if I'm standing here, there's no point to me having my arm out there. I'm not protecting anything in here. If there are punches here, all the better, I'm not getting hit. I don't need to have my arm out. But if I'm lower and I'm in a shiko and my leg's out there, I still want to be protecting that. Alright, I'm just gonna grab a drink and then we'll stretch off. Nicely done. Okay, so same as start of class. Just gonna reach on up. Make sure you're breathing in and out. Oxygen is, after all, very important. And forward fold down. Hands on the ground, walk your feet out. Reach over to one side. And the other side. And back to the middle. This time I'm just going to sit on my butt, tuck one leg in, reach for my toes. Or actually, instead of just tucking the leg in, I'm going to sit on that foot because I like to do that sometimes to get a bit of a deeper stretch in the hamstring. Of course, you are welcome to do whichever one you find gets you a good stretch. Switch sides. You're going to stand up again, do that quad stretch. And switch sides. Reach one arm across. And switch. One arm behind. And switch. Sorry, I think I was rushing that a little bit. My apologies. It's harder to do when there isn't someone else there. Now just to finish off, I'm going to lie down on my back. I'm going to bring one leg up. I'm going to put it over top of my body using my arms to pull it down. Looking the other way to get a good stretch of the lower back. And switch sides. And relax. Really awesome work, guys. I can't see you, but I'm sure you're doing great. If you would like to, get any feedback on anything, feel free to send us videos, or, I'm not sure when you're watching this, but if we still have our office hours going on, feel free to just pop into someone's office hours, show them a technique, and ask for feedback. I hope you're all doing well, and yeah, my apologies for all of the technical difficulties. I'm doing my best, and yeah. So, yeah, have a great day, and I hope that I can see you soon. Bye.